It's the morning after the Super Bowl and the week after a major software stock rout. You know what all that means for you. It's time to get back on that grind. I'm Yahoo Finance Executive Editor Brian Sozzi, and this is Opening Bid live from Yahoo Finance's New York City headquarters. Here's what's on my mind after having one TV on Bad Money and one TV on Kid Rock during halftime yesterday. Wall Street begins to sniff around the rubble that are software stocks. It's rubble that contains full-on stock value decimation for everyone, from the likes of heavyweight software player Salesforce to once hot IPO Figma. What I am seeing can get put into two camps. Camp number one is where I find the Goldman Sachs team. Goldman is out signaling the software sell-off may be nowhere close to being over because earnings for the software companies in no way have bottomed yet. For an added touch of gloom and doom, because why not? Goldman compares what is happening to software stocks to what happened in the early 2000s with newspaper stocks as the internet took hold. Look at this chart, guys. It's absolutely dreadful, but a helpful reminder to try and pick a bottom on software stocks at your own risk. And camp number two here, there are hardcore tech bulls coming out to defend their upbeat calls. Wedbush tech analyst Dan Ives thinks this entire software stock slide is absurd. Dan sounding the triple buy alarm bell today. Also in this upbeat camp is tech analyst Gil Lauria at D.A. Davidson. Gil is so jazzed up today. Get this, he is out upgrading OpenAI despite it not being a public company yet. Love this stuff. Gil adds that because he is more optimistic on OpenAI, he is more optimistic on stocks in the OpenAI orbit, such as NVIDIA, CoreWeave, and Mighty Oracle. And before we get to the opening bid roundtable, I know you're wondering what my favorite Super Bowl ad was. It was Budweiser's. What a tearjerker, with that majestic bald eagle flying off the back of its friend, the mighty Budweiser Clydesdale horse. This was an important ad for Budweiser as it aims to move further beyond a controversial ad several years ago that hit its sales and stock price. AB InBev shares are up 17% this year, so the company will have to deliver beyond a great Super Bowl ad this year. That could start with its earnings report later this week. Wow, I'm starting to tear up right now. Here on Opening Bid Roundtable, Victoria Fernandez, Crossmark Global Investments, Chief Market Strategist, alongside Yahoo Finance Senior Reporters Brooke DiPalma and Ines Ferré. I know y'all think I'm crazy with that ad. I mean, Brooke, while I want to start with software, I want to get your take, because we got a lot of food commercials during the Super Bowl. I got a Lay's ad. Someone came out of a farm holding up a potato. Like, it just caught my attention.
Yeah, Lay's certainly highlighting the American farmer within their commercial, and that definitely got the attention. It was a father and a daughter who seemed like they had been working on this farm for years, and he was sort of handing over the keys to the potato farm to his daughter. Definitely a tearjerker there. But what really got my attention was actually how many commercials around GLP-1s there were. We saw Novo Nordisk, we saw Wegovy, even featuring SNL star celebrity Kenan Thompson, as well as many other, including him and hers, sort of highlighting even Serena Williams making an appearance in that Roe commercial. So definitely GLP-1s on top of the typical beer and food, among other commercials that we typically see, definitely got my attention as well.
And as full and fair disclosure, I fell asleep towards the end of the third quarter, so I may have missed some ads, but I didn't see anything for gold, Ines. Didn't see any of it.
I did not see anything for gold. Look, what I thought was interesting was a commercial that was artless, that where they showed that it was all AI generated. They even had that polar bear that was in the Pepsi commercial as well at the beginning. Anyways, it just basically showed how much of a disruption AI is in pretty much going to be in most industries, but in the creative industry especially. I mean, I was thinking of advertising agency execs looking at this and everyone that's in that creative industry and production saying to themselves, oh my goodness, everything is being now generated by AI.
Victoria, good to see you as always. You and I have talked about Apple for many years. That is a buttoned-up company. I'm surprised they hitched their name to that controversial Super Bowl performance with Bad Bunny. Just going to say it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem typical of what a company like that would do. They try to, want to stay away from some of that stuff. But Tim Cook has stepped out on a limb before and done some things. So perhaps they found this as a way to really get their name out there, have it be part of the conversation. We know advertising and all of that really just comes to how many times are you saying that company's name in your conversation. So perhaps that was just their thought behind it. I have to say, I didn't watch either halftime show. I was so bored with this game that I literally switched over to Netflix to watch my next episode of Homeland. But there were some really great commercials. So you talked about Lay's. I mean, Budweiser, if that didn't just bring
stop.
a tear to your eye.
I just stopped crying, Victoria. Stop, please.
I don't know.
I mean, come on, look at that ad.
I know. And Ring Doorbell was awesome. But you know what I thought was one of the smartest ads was Google Gemini, because it literally showed you, and just for a regular everyday person, what they can do for you. And I think that was really smart. And it was a very sweet story about a mom and her son moving in their new home. So when you're paying $230,000 per second, you need to give me something that's going to either attach me to your brand long-term emotionally, or you're showing me what you can do for me. And I think Google Gemini did a really good job at that.
Victoria, isn't that Google ad? I'm with you. I think that was a really good ad. Doesn't that really exemplify every reason why, if you've been buying Google over the past month and a half, it's been one of the hottest performers, you just stay long Google. Maybe even more so than Apple, which I know has withstood the sell-off in software.
Yeah, look, if you're a long-term investor and you want to have something in your portfolio that stands the test of time, I think you're absolutely right on that. You look at Alphabet, Google, and you say, this is a company that gets it. Yes, there might be some concerns around how much money is going into CapEx, but they're showing you how that can come to fruition and be used by individuals, which means they should be able to monetize that going forward. I think that's a company, yes, that you want to have in your portfolio.
And as last week was absolutely terrible for software stocks. We're seeing some folks on the street. I got Gil Laurie, got Dan Ives, waiting around the rubble a little bit. By and large, I don't sense a lot of enthusiasm to go out there and buy these software stocks 30, 40, in some cases 50% off their highs this morning. I don't see it. I don't see it on our platform. Don't see it out on X. Don't see it anywhere.
No, and we have seen our strategists that have been talking about the fact that, look, this may be overdone. This is a reset. There's a re-rating going on. But as far as buying at these levels and just seeing where sort of how far the knife falls, no one really knows. I just was on the conference call listening to Monday.com, and they were getting peppered. Management was getting peppered by analysts about what's happening in the software space. And some of their commentary was basically like saying, look, most of our customers are still trying to figure out the best way to use AI, and they're coming at it from a place of curiosity. They did talk about how their customers really love their products, and also talking about vendor consolidation, that customers are looking at vendor consolidation. So there is still a lot to be seen as to how much AI is disrupting the entire industry. And I think that that's the concern in the market right now.
Brooke, I loved what the Goldman team wrote this morning on software stocks. Buried at the bottom, they had these two charts we showed here at the top of the show. They're comparing to what happened to newspaper companies and their stocks when the internet rose to fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s. A little bit of a stretch, at least initially, but their main point here, Brooke, is that it's hard to determine how much these software stocks are truly worth because the earnings haven't bottomed yet.
And what we've seen year to date when it comes to Microsoft, Palantir, Oracle, Shopify, Intel, all these major companies really selling off quite significantly, with Palantir and Oracle down more than 20% year to date. And you actually pointed out this morning this new acronym that's popping up, FOBO, this fear of becoming obsolete. And as typical that you point out,
love it.
FOBO. We have Momo, we have FOMO, we have FOBO now. This fear of becoming obsolete within this dynamic where these software stocks certainly need to adapt rather. And we see some bullish takes on the street this morning to try to soothe investors' mindset when it comes to this fear that these software companies won't be able to advance themselves to make it through and push through this next age of AI, this revolution that we're currently seeing underway. And there's some more bullish takes about how exactly software stocks will continue to gain momentum, like ServiceNow, like a Salesforce, within this broader environment where we do have that fear that these software stocks will no longer be applicable in this sort of AI world.
Victoria, last word too. You know where there is no FOBO or fear of becoming obsolete? Palantir. I think a lot of people forgot what this company reported a week ago. Mind-blowing results. Guidance blew everybody away. Is that the type of name that you come back to this week?
I think because of the drawdown that you've seen in some of these names, again, we're going to go back to our type of clients that are long-term investors. I think you can start dipping your toe back in the water in some of these. It really comes down to a question of uncertainty. How on a sliding scale, how much are AI and software as a service companies going to be able to coexist together? Because we know these companies are deeply embedded in corporations' workforces. They're not just going to be gone immediately. They're going to coexist in some level. But the question is how much pricing power gets put on these companies. Like you said, earnings will show us that as we go through coming quarters. But I do think you can probably dip your toe in the water on some of these that have had such significant pullbacks and such strong balance sheets.
Victoria, tough question before I let you go. If your Cowboys were playing in the Super Bowl, would you have watched the whole thing?
Probably yes.
See? Got to ask these follow-ups. Big thanks to my opening bid roundtable. Good to see y'all. Talk to you soon. All right, fresh off taping his heartwarming Super Bowl ad filled with cute puppies, Ring founder Jamie Siminoff stops by for a chat with me. That combo's next. Love puppies. You had to have seen the heart-tugging Amazon Ring doorbell ad during the Super Bowl. In it, you of course saw cute lost puppies just searching for their homes. New technology from Ring helped return said cute lost puppies back to their loving owners. Insert tearing emoji. But in watching these cute lost puppies, you may have not realized who the guy at the end of the ad was holding one of those cute lost puppies. That was Ring founder and chief inventor Jamie Siminoff. I should also add, returning Amazon employee. I caught up with him ahead of the Super Bowl in a new episode of my Opening Bid Unfiltered podcast. Here's how America's new lost puppy savior plans to use AI to take Ring to a whole new level.
So I went for just like macro first principle thinking. So where has the world changed since I left? AI. How does AI, how are we going to benefit our customers with AI? We need to see more. Like we now have this sort of super intelligence in the cloud. And so we need to see more. So I said we need to increase the number of pixels that are out there. So 4K cameras. So we're going to we need a full line of 4K cameras, 2K cameras. We need to increase, whereas before, it was really the human eye, like, you know, if you're a customer, we call our customers neighbors, but if you're like one of our neighbors, you know, is like kind of what you could see is fine. But now with AI, the more pixels you get, the deeper it can see, the more analytics, the better it can sort of tell you stuff. So that was one. The second one was literally just AI. We need to lead in every way, and we have a mission to make neighborhoods safer. We need to start figuring out how to use AI in the neighborhood to benefit the neighborhood. So one of the first things we launched is Dog Search Party. Now, you know, if your dog is missing, it's gonna be like, Jamie, you know, this dog that was posted that is missing looks like this dog in front of your house. Do you want to contact your neighbor?
Hell yeah.
Of course. And by the way, if you say no, I mean, you're just a bad person. But the cool thing is actually, to be serious, is like, you can say no. No one knows you said no, and your privacy is fine. But if you want to enter into the neighborhood, which any good person is going to do, they say yes, and then they talk to their neighbor like, your dog is here, and they return it. One dog per day, over one dog per day is being reunited with their family, like literally today, like every day, and that's what we're doing. So like that's a feature that I was like, we need to do these things because we have over 100 million cameras out there. And we need to help our neighbors leverage them for good. We launched a thing called Firewatch. The LA fires that everyone saw. I mean, these big sort of events. One of the problems is the firemen don't know where the things are jumping. So fire jumps like a quarter of a mile, a half a mile, like literally can jump like these huge lines, start somewhere else. And so it's very hard for them to understand where to fight the fire outside of like the core, like what they can see burning. And then those things become big fires, which then makes it harder for resources. We had over 10,000 cameras in the Palisades area, which is where I live, in Los Angeles at the time of the fire. We absolutely could have helped to make a real-time map for them to use the resources better. If we can use the resources better, maybe we had enough resources there to help slow. I don't think we would have stopped certainly would have it's not like there would have been no fire, but maybe we could have helped stop some of these other little areas from burning and other houses from burning and families from being affected.
What's the next big unlock for Ring? I mean, I look at the doorbell, game-changing product. It's hardware, but it sounds like software is the next frontier for
I think it's all about this stuff we're doing, you know, with the sort of, again, the search party, the Firewatch. Then we also launched an app store. And I think the other thing, you know, pre-AI, like your camera gave you, I would say, like if you bought your camera for $100, I think we gave you like $100 of value for it. We gave you as much value as you could based on the technology and where it was. Now there's other things you want to know. Like why is the camera seeing the lawn go brown and not telling you that like your lawn's dying? Why?
Kind of blow my mind because I need my camera. It's facing my lawn.
We didn't set this up.
Wait, is that feature out? Like, is it coming out this summer?
So what we did is Ring, and this is where I think companies make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like Ring is focused on making neighborhoods safer. We're focused on building the products. Like you have to focus. In my opinion, you have to focus to be successful and to deliver the best for your customers and our neighbors. But things like this, the long tail of things, is going to be super important. But it's like the iPhone. Apple didn't build every game, every app, every whatever. They built a few core things, right? Like around their core. And then there's, I don't know, 1 million apps. I don't even know what it is on the iPhone. I think we're going the same direction. So now you can add from a third party, a grass thing. But no one's built it. Go build it. Someone should build this.
Like if my car's parked out front, I need to know if the tire needs air.
All these all these are these long tail things like that someone else, and with AI, literally someone in high school, a kid in high school could probably build this, focus on it, build a really cool app, throw it in the app store again, just like on the iPhone, and then get picked up and make some money with it, whatever, charge a little bit, So we announced this app store at CES this year in January, so we just announced it. And I think we're going to see thousands or tens of thousands of these types of use cases that are going to benefit people. And again, some people are going to want to see the lawn thing. Some people aren't. So like that's where an app store is great, is it allows you to really customize and get the most value out of that sort of what the camera's capturing.
I think about this lawn feature and I immediately think this is great for my landscaper. This is good for the economy. What are some of your concerns though on how fast AI is moving?
I mean, certainly AI is the fastest. I mean, in my career, I haven't seen anything like this. I don't think anyone has. It's something where you say the best in class is this while we're literally sitting here, and 20 minutes later, someone launches something that's like 10x better. It's like I've never seen the leapfrogging that's happening in it, and it's unbelievable to watch it. I'm very positive. I'm someone who I think maybe as an entrepreneur, like I always look at sort of the bright side of things. I think it's going to deliver. It's democratizing information. I think it's going to allow people to really, truly unlock their full potential. I'm actually very overall globally positive on what it's going to do, and I'm seeing at Ring what we're doing with it again, like returning a dog. Like that is AI that's doing that, reuniting that dog with a family. Hopefully, fighting the next fire with AI. And I think that's what we have to do also as an industry. If I'd say I'm including myself in sort of somewhere in this industry, is we have to show people what it's doing. Like the problem is when we talk about AI, and it doesn't do anything for you, yeah, you're probably going to be scared of it or not like it. But if you start to see that, your dog comes back home, or you're safer in a fire, or you feel safer in your home, or your landscaping is better, like you'll start to be like, oh, I get this.
Is there one more big invention to be had in the home?
There's millions of big inventions to still be had. I think, if there's anything history has told us, is that we can never sort of imagine the next thing. There's always something next.
See these humanoids like big. Folding laundry and stuff? Are you a big humanoid guy?
The humanoid thing is interesting because if you could make a humanoid at a low enough, like the world is built for humanoids, like we built the entire planet for the human, basically model. And so the big unlock with humanoids is that they can use anything. Like they can jump into a car and then to a bulldozer and then on a bike. Like they can kind of, if you really truly have a humanoid, it can just sort of fit all the things we've built over the last hundreds of years in the planet.
My man Jamie saving dogs. Love to see it. Before I go, some of you have reached out to me after seeing several recent rant videos on Chipotle appear on my Instagram account. Thank you for the outreach and for reaffirming to me Chipotle's biggest problem it must overcome. It's too expensive to eat there. Months of these Insta-vids come to a head for me later today, as I will be sitting down live with Chipotle CEO Scott Boatwright in the 3 p.m. hour. I am taking all questions from Scott, so send them to me over at X at Brian Sozzi. Julian Hyman has you covered on the other side of the break.